If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
My name is Yash, and I'll be the trainer for your GTS training. Okay. And as per the expectation, we are covering more of the compliance training, overview of the customs, and EWM and the MDG integration with the GTS, and some additional feature coming from the S/4HANA space. So this is an overview of what we will be covering here in this as a part of this training. So let's start with the SAP GTS training, right? So in this the agenda of this first day, we'll be covering what is SAP GTS, compliance management, custom management, risk management, ECR, business benefit, and the system architecture. Okay, the overview. So introduction to SAP GTS. SAP GTS stands for Global Trade Services. SAP GTS is a software that allows companies to support and define import-export trade processes in SAP ERP. So when we say it is a software allowing import-export trade, we are more of talking about the customs. Okay, we are more of talking about integration of our client SAP system, SAP GTS, with the custom authority system. Okay, since the custom authority system is integrating with our client SAP GTS system, and the import and export declaration will be processed electronically here. Okay, so this is the main advantage of SAP GTS, that the electronic communication between SAP GTS, our client SAP GTS system, and the corresponding country's custom authority system is electronic established. Okay, so whatever the data transfer, import, export, etc., will be happening electronically. Okay. Now it is used to automate the international trade for a company. As I said, the automation declaration submission, automation inquiries, automation response, automated approval from the custom authority, okay, will be happening in the SAP GTS system. Okay, this is based on the NetWeaver platform. All right. Okay. Introduction of SAP GTS. In other words, SAP GTS is standalone SAP app that replaces the existing foreign trade functionality in R3 SAP. So you may find SAP GTS is also being used for the clients which are not using their ERP as SAP. They are using some non-SAP ERP. But SAP GTS is sufficient enough to work as a standalone system, and that can be very well integrated with the non-SAP ERP system also. Okay, so these ERP system where we'll be creating all the master data and the transactional data and transferring through SAP GTS system, we call them as a feeder system. Right? We call them as a feeder system. So these feeder system may be SAP or may not be SAP. All right. So SAP GTS, this is the first point which is underlying here, that it is a standalone SAP app. Okay, so from the sale or marketing point of view also, SAP GTS is selling this product where the client is looking only for the screening of the partner, right, or the import export declaration electronic submission with non-SAP ERP feeder system. Okay, it is an ERP based solution made for a company which are mainly into global operations. Okay, which are mainly into global operations. Right. Let me just one. Right. It is an ERP based solution mean for a company
Are you talking and we can't hear you, or you are giving a voice gap?
Sorry, it was on mute. Sorry, I just
Okay.
talking on mute. I just realized that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens when we work from home. No problem.
Okay.
So we just wanted to ensure whether you are talking and we could not hear. That's why I just called you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So I'll just repeat where I was. It is I was discussing on this point. It is an ERP-based solution meant for a company which are mainly into global operations. So as we know, GTS is specifically for the global trade. Okay, so international trade. So obviously we are talking about the multinational companies. Okay, where they have the sale across the globe. Okay, uh, if we talk about some of the product around, and Coke is one of the multinational company other than Bose. Okay, Apple. These all are the example of multinational companies. Okay, they with their domestic production also, but they are also carrying out the import-export business too. Okay, so multinational presence of the company is required, which is using the SAP GTS platform. And the last point is SAP GTS automate all kind of global trade processes and helps in the management of large number of businesses across the world. Okay, so when it says all kind of a global trade processes, it talks about more of a custom specific processes, compliance, screening of the business partner. Okay, other than that, preference free trade agreements. Okay, any sort of import which is involving bonded warehouse, inward processing, outward processing. Okay, and a foreign trade zone for US. So uh, it also depends whether that particular countries, specifically for Europe and US, they have already achieved their system. It's completely automated. When I say their system means I'm talking about the custom authority system. Custom authority is completely automated. It's a paperless. Okay, without no paper at all. Okay, while submitting their custom declarations. So SAP GTS is a system which is anyhow it also depend on the custom authority system. If custom authority have the complete full automation, okay, SAP is also go in parallel providing and configuring all those corresponding electronic messages and the forms around in the SAP GTS system. Okay, so it covers this all kinds of global trade. As I said, there is still a terms and condition. Okay, it covers all the processes which is completely automated in the custom authority system. So that corresponding automation is available in SAP GTS. Okay, and it helps in managing the large number of business processes across the world. Okay, so as I give an example, the foreign trade zone, inward processing, transit process, duty paid, unpaid scenario. So all those are example of the capability in the SAP GTS tool we have. Okay. From the GTS 11.0, they have already added two country-specific processes, which is foreign trade zone and there's one more processing trade for China. Okay, these are the country-specific processes: processing trade for China country, and the foreign trade zone for US. Before 11.0, GTS 11.0 version, these processes was not there, but now they have added it. Okay, and now after HANA, we also have GTS HANA edition that they have used the Fiori apps. Okay, so they are not using. There are some of the transactions they are running in SAP GUI, but some of the transactions they are running using the Fiori apps. Okay, so that is a GTS HANA edition. Okay, but from the 10 point onwards, we can connect the GTS system with the S4 HANA system. Okay. All right. Coming to the next slide, compliance management. Okay. Compliance management. Now, compliance management is an overview. It helps to ensure our client compliance with the international trade regulation. Okay. In three main areas. So, sanction party list screening, legal control, again legal control, one for export, other for import, then the product classification. So when we say the sanctioned party list screening, okay, we are talking about our client, since our client is a multinational presence. Okay, so our client working globally across multiple customer and globally multiple vendors also. So we need a system in place so which can carry out the screening of this business partner, okay, which can execute the screening of these business partner, right? So when we say the screening, it means we are talking about the screening of data, their master data. Okay, every vendor and customer, we create the master data in the ERP system, and that master data transferred to GTS system. When we transfer the SAP GTS system, that is the prerequisite. That master data transfer is a prerequisite to perform these screening. Okay, so there's a data migration activity involved for transferring this master data. First of all, there is some prerequisite configuration also, SPRO configuration in the GTS system that we'll discuss later. But as an overview, you can understand that all the master data, whether it's a customer, vendor, now we are not talking about material here. Okay, when we talk about the sanctioned party list screening, we talks only about the business partners. Means we are talking about the customers or the vendors or forwarding agents, okay, or the contact person. So we are just talking about the business partner, okay, notifying party, brokers. We're just talking about the business partner. Only for these business partner, we have to transfer the data to GTS system. After transferring the data to the GTS system, then sanctioned party list screening will be performed, okay, in the GTS system. And what is the output of the sanctioned party list screening? Sanctioned party list screening just highlight whether this particular business partner is good enough to execute the trade with, or it is blocked. Basically, blocked means this business partner is not good enough to execute any trade, any kind of import export. We should not go ahead and execute with this business partner. So now we were thinking that the GTS system is so much intelligent. Okay, that intelligence, how GTS system is basically coming to the conclusion that this particular business partner, customer or vendor, is good business partner, and another business partner, customer, vendor, is a bad business partner. Okay, when I say good, it means we can execute the trade, import, export. Bad means we should not go for any import and export transaction with the business partner. So that kind of intelligence SAP GTS system has. Okay, but SAP GTS system can't decide on its own that it's a good or bad. There is a prerequisite in the SAP GTS system. Yeah, SPRO configurations are there. Okay, SPRO configuration will be there to configure the comparison process. So what comparison? So we need to upload GTS system with some blacklisted parties. Okay, across the globe, we have a data providers. Okay, I can name some of the data provider like Custom Info, Mendel, Descartes. Okay, so these are some of the example of third-party data provider. Okay, these are the third-party data provider. It's a completely different organization. It is not a SAP. Okay, it's a completely different organization. Okay, and their work is to provide all the data required to execute the global trade. Okay, currently let's keep our discussion limited to sanctioned party list screening. So these data provider, take an example of Custom Info, okay, is one of the company who provide the data in form of XML files. Okay, and what is the data? That data is a blacklisted parties, blacklisted business partner, blacklisted. Okay, so when we say Custom Info provide us the blacklisted business partner, so it is not, we are not talking about a single country. We are talking about the partner across the globe. It means they have a huge data set, and that too for the entire globe, and that data is frequently changed also. Okay, so custom info do provide those data, okay, blacklisted party data across the globe, whatever the business partner which are blacklisted, okay, and that data is provided in .xml files, and that data, that blacklisted parties, we have to upload in the GTS system. Okay, once we upload that blacklisted party to the GTS system, then GTS system uses intelligence. When I say intelligence, means the SPRO configurations. So then GTS system use the SPRO configurations to run this SPL sanction party list screening and check whether our client business partner, our client vendor or customer falling in that blacklisted list or not. If it is falling in that list, so just the sanction party list screening will block that business partner in GTS. Okay. And if it is not there in that blacklisted list, then it is okay. It is good to go with. Okay. Then that business partner is a good business partner. We can execute that trade. So this is the entire process in itself. Okay. Sanction party list screening is not just a T code to run and execute. It is just an entire process that we have to set up. We have to do the data migration. We have to prerequisite all the data from the feeder system to GTS system. Then we have data provider like custom info. We have to take the blacklisted business partner. That also we have to upload in the GTS system. SPRO configuration we have to create for the sanction party list screening. Then based on the standard reports, we need to run those sanction party list screening. That this is continuously run for your transactional data and the master data. Because when I say transactional data, eventually your transaction, whether it's a order, sales order, or the purchase order will also use the vendor, business partner again, and sales order do use the customer, sold to ship to. So those are again the business partner. So this particular sanction party list screening is focused on the business partner screening. All right. Now coming to the next, let me know in case of any query, you want me to repeat anything. Okay, any doubts you may have, you can ask. Okay, although these topics today is a first class where we are doing introduction to the GTS system. We'll be covering overview today. All right, we'll be going detail to these topics again one by one. But still, if you have any doubt, let me know. I can repeat. All right. Now coming to next screening, which is a legal control screening. Okay, legal control export and import. Okay. Now, legal control is basically it's again transactional. Every transaction, whether it's a import transaction or the export transaction, okay, that transaction, whether it's a kind of a licensing requirement we do have or not, what kind of a material is being imported in our country or exported from our country. Okay, that particular material, do we need a license or we don't need a license? Okay, this is the first question. Then second question is, if let's say yes, we need the license, then the second question is, if we need the license, then what type of license? Because we do have multiple type of license. Then what type of license is required for particular import or export transaction? Okay, so this area, okay, these two things, whether transaction, okay, whether transaction need the license or do not need the license, okay, and if transaction need a license, then what type of license is required? Okay, this area will be covered under the legal control screening. Okay, legal control for export and import transaction. Related to this area only, we have another thing which is called the product classification. Okay, when I say the first question, when I say whether the license is required for our import or export transaction, or whether we do not need the license. Okay, whether we need the license or we do not need. All right. So in that case, the product classification is the answer of first question. whether the product is classified or not classified. Okay, once again, it's a world trade rule basically. Okay, a completely international trade across the country, irrespective of the GTS. So whatever we are studying right now, I'm giving the overview. Okay, it is a completely global trade. Irrespective your client is using GTS system or not using GTS system, they follow these screening. They follow this business partner screening, then the transaction screening for the license. Okay, they follow this process. So these all things are coming from the international trade. These are it's a uniform practice to carry out the international trade. Okay, irrespective whether the client is using GTS system or some other system to execute the import export. Okay, so business partner screening will be done, license checking will be done, and will be checked product has been classified or not. Okay, when we talk about the product classification, it means every product for our client, I can have some product. Similarly, for other client, we may have another product. Okay, but all these clients are, let's say, in the same country, US. Then how the US custom authority system will understand? Okay, US custom authority do not maintain the MM03 master data log in their system. Okay, US authority doesn't have that what do we say, material master from our clients. Okay, otherwise US custom authority, I'm just taking the example of US. Okay, so I'm saying US custom authority will be ending up of having millions of record for each and every client's material master. Rather than custom authority doesn't work this way. Custom authority use the commodity code. Okay, they use the commodity. They just classify the commodity. Okay, for example, if electronics, mobile phone, they will give just one commodity code to that. Okay, mobile phone. If it's a laptop, they'll just give one commodity code to that laptop. Doesn't matter that laptop is a Dell laptop or it's an Apple laptop or some other US based laptop manufactured layout. Okay, or it's being imported from some other country. Okay, laptop. So it's a laptop is just a commodity. So the custom authority will understand it's a laptop. Okay, that doesn't go under for which client this, what is a client material master number, MM03 number. Okay, the client custom authority doesn't go in that way. They use the commodity code to understand that particular product. Okay, so for this we have to classify our product. Okay, now again, this commodity code, who will provide this commodity code? The classification means our client MM03 master data, and we have to map with the commodity code, and this commodity code will be again provided by the data provider, again custom info. So as I said, data provider provide us a lot of different type of data, like blacklisted parties or the ICCN or ECCN number or the HTS or the commodity code number, or it also provides a preference rule. Okay, a lot of information data provider do provide us for to execute a different process of our GTS system, right? So this product classification is nothing, it's a product of our client and the custom provided commodity code. Okay, commodity code. So that mapping, our client product number and the commodity code or the tariff number mapping is called the product classification, right? Okay. Now in this slide, we also have few things which is embargo checking. Okay. Now embargo checking is, it is not including, this legal control doesn't include. Yeah, in the when we go to SAP area menu, there we have this embargo checking reports in this same section, legal control import export. So from that point of view, this Excel sheet is showing including embargo checking. But embargo checking is a different kind of a screening. It screens the particular trade between two countries is allowed or not allowed. For example, US has put the ban on Syria. So it means any transaction, whether it's an import from Syria or export to Syria. Okay, any transaction to Syria will be banned. Okay, so it means US plant cannot receive anything from the Syria vendor, and US plant cannot dispatch anything to Syria customer. So that transaction will be blocked based on the country combination. So US Syria country combination is completely blocked. Okay, global block. All right. Now, so that kind of a political scenario, okay, is handled by the embargo screening. Political scenario where the country has put a ban on a particular country. It is a partial ban. Let's say only for some product the ban is there. Okay, but for okay, or for some of the product the ban is not there. So that is called the partial embargo. Okay, that some for a couple of product the trade is allowed, or the couple of product the trade is banned, not allowed. Okay, so vice versa. So basically that kind of it's a country specific ban. Okay, it is a country specific, right? So that will be, and how this is a kind of political scenario, will be handled in the embargo screening. All right. Let me know if any doubts are there. Okay. All right.
Hello. Yeah. Ganesh here. For the sanction party list screening, okay, you mentioned that we have the certain external vendors which provides the data. So that how frequently that data we have to upload in the GTS system, or is it automation we have in GTS?
We do not have automation. Okay, this activity is done by the business. Okay, this data upload activity in the production system is being done by the business, and these, how frequently this activity will be done, it depends on the version. Okay, data provider do provide their files with the version and the timestamp. Okay, and they also do provide the credential of their website. Okay, so it's a business responsibility to log in their portal, okay, data provider portal, with the corresponding credential, and have a look of what XML file. Okay, because they have maintained for each country, they have maintained the folders and the file with the timestamp. So if the next version has come, so business has to keep an eye on that. Okay, they will send a notification that the next version has been uploaded in. So immediately business will read that notification, can download that XML file to their desktop, and can upload in the GTS system. Okay, if we wanted to set up this kind of electronic system, we can create that electronic system also. Okay, but again, the cost of that IT project to just to make that electronic communication, or simply business can handle on the as a manual effort, that cost we have to look into. Okay, while we are talking about the electronic connection.
Yeah.
Right.
So does it mean that third party vendor business can choose by their themselves and they can download these details and they can upload? But
Correct.
in case of like, do we have any certified vendors also from SAP GTS point of view, where SAP GTS is directly connecting to those vendors?
The data providers?
Yeah.
Data providers, we do have like custom info is there. So one of these, so you may find for your client, it is working electronically. Okay, Descartes is there. Okay, so Descartes is for Europe specifically. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, these are some of them. But again, there are some. These are some of the standard one where the plugin is available. But again, we have to. We have to involve the corresponding technical team to establish that connection. As I said, establishing the connection, or simply the business have an a regular check on the monthly basis, or since they are already receiving the notification once the data provider is uploading the next version of the file. Okay, so that is there, that already that process is there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, my question was related to the, that in Europe we have the VIS system, right? Where we have the in backend SAP directly connected to the respective systems, and it will validate our vendors and customers are really their let's say their checks, irrespective of those are liable or not. So that VIS system integration SAP are already provided in ECC. So similarly, do we have some kind of like integrations in GTS? I believe that you already answered that. Yes. But yes, the technical connection has to be done, right? And that is suitable in GTS. There is no, I think, there is a plug-in system is there, as I understood. We don't want to do any extra developments there.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. And the second question was related to product classification. So if your community codes mapping has been correctly done in ECC, that can be directly replicated in GTS, right? There is no need to additionally do the master data setup for that.
So generally, how we do, we do the classification in the GTS system, then we transfer to the feeder system. If we already using the GTS system, then we can we do classification in the GTS system and then retransfer to the feeder system. Okay, this is how we do. Okay.
Okay, so the master will always the GTS is not the ECC in clients.
Yeah. So basically, when you have a look at the MM03 commodity code field, right, in your MM03 foreign trade view, okay, so there you have the commodity code field. So that data comes from the GTS. Okay, the data comes from the GTS. If we are using only foreign trade functionality, we are not using the GTS system. So similar classification we can do directly in the feeder system also. But if we are using the GTS, then the standard practice is upload those classification code in the GTS, do the classification, create the mapping, and then retransfer that mapping to feeder system, your ECC system. And then that code will be appearing in MM03. Okay.
Okay. And it will consider also the country specific checks as well, right? For example, in India, we are not using the community code, we are using the HSN codes like control code, same like Brazil. So that will also taken care by the GTS.
That will be taken care, yes. That will be taken care. Okay. For that, again, we have to create one SPRO. That SPRO places in foreign trade only. Okay. Have to assign a 6-digit HS code to each and every country combination. So while transferring the GTS, while transferring from the GTS to the EC system, that check will be taken place because of that SPRO that we have in foreign trade. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And
Okay.
SAP GTS will be the separate component as of now, and how it will be in S4HANA, it will be separate one as well.
Yeah, it's a separate. It's still not embedded. Okay, we have EW embedded, TM embedded, but GTS still not embedded system. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then in that case, the client which are using the SAP ECC, we have to interface up first of all the master data, and then GTS will work, right?
Correct. Yeah. Exactly. So basically, the embedded is is challenge here for the GTS, because for EWM and TM to work with, you have only inbound delivery, or the deliveries basically. Deliveries is a single channel to work with your EWM and TM. That is a trigger point. But in GTS, we do have many trigger points. We have purchase order, sales order, master data. Okay, we do have a different work list that is going from PO, and the good receipt work list is also flowing. So we have many channels in the GTS to trigger the different work list or the corresponding custom document or the declarations. So that's why the embedded point is a challenge here, at how it will be done as embedded system, one embedded system. Okay, but for EWM team, there is a simple, the data transfer channel is a delivery. Okay, when we transfer the delivery, then the rest of the process start in the EWM or TM system. Right. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's discuss more. Now, it's the next slide talk about a little bit about the feeder system. So when I talk about the feeder system, I'm talking about ECC or S4HANA system Okay, but in which the module that GTS will be integrated with is the sales and distribution module. Then you also have the module, okay, for the import, sales and distribution for export or the export return. Okay, for your import and the import return. All right. Similarly, we also have HR and finance also connecting with the GTS, but that is for the different functionality. Okay. Let's talk about the introduction to SAP sales and distribution custom management. Okay. The system helps your company automate and standardize the import and export processes in coordination with custom authority, speeding up your goods import and export while reducing the total cost for handling custom relevant transaction. Okay, so since we know we are talking about here the automation system, SAP GTS system, a kind of electronic system. Okay, now when we talk about this electronic system, then obviously the software will reduce the cost because of the manual operation or a lot of processes. The standalone solution which has been given here. Okay, one-stop solution for running the reports. Okay, checking the data, doing the screening, import-export declaration, connecting with the brokers. Okay, maintaining the duty paid or unpaid inventory. Okay, handling the preference. So a lot of things are there. So it connect with the sales and distribution system. When we talk about the export transaction, whenever we create any sales order or the outbound delivery, these are referred as a custom document in the GTS system. So again, there are two things, custom document and the custom declarations. Whenever we create sales order or the outbound delivery, we are talking about custom document. When we create the billing in SD, so that billing will be converted into custom declaration in GTS system. Okay, custom document doesn't integrate with the custom authority system. Okay, it means your sales order or the outbound delivery, which is converted into custom export document. They call it as a custom export document. These document is only for the screening purpose. Okay, how we discussed the compliance screening, right? We discussed about sanction party list screening or the license requirement or the, okay. So these transaction, sales order or the outbound delivery converted into custom export document is only for the screening purpose. Whereas when we create the billing, when we create in the feeder system is ECC or the S/4HANA system. So that billing will transfer to the SAP GTS system, will create one export declaration. It will create one export declaration. That declaration is something which will be transferring or electronically communicating with the custom authority system. Custom authority system. That electronic communication will happen using the custom system. Okay. All right. Okay. So this custom management module is talks about the declarations basically. Okay. These declarations are electronically connecting with the custom authority system, import or the export custom declaration. These custom declaration will have a lot of information like which are the business partner we are executing the business with, what kind of a product, okay, what is the commodity code or the tariff number, how much is the duty. Okay, in this declaration we provide the duties also. We estimate and calculate the duty, and when we submit to the custom authority. Okay, we submit to the custom authority. It is just like just take an analogy, how we have every year like ITR return, right? We file it to the tax government. We do some kind of estimation and calculate and then file our return. Okay, we then tax department do the further processing. They give the approval or verification, etc. The step will follow. Similarly, the declarations are there. Okay, the electronic declarations are there from the SAP GTS system only. We can trigger to the custom authority system, and these declaration will have the business partner, product, commodity code information, a lot of other information about custom placement, concession, duties. Okay, custom duties, how much duty has been calculated. Okay, so this data will be transferred to custom authority. Okay, once they approve, okay, and the duty is paid, or duty is already deducted from the securities or the bond, then the shipment is allowed to cross the border. Okay, then the shipment is allowed to cross the border. So this entire thing, all the things will be taken care in the custom management module. Okay, custom management module or functionality which is available in the SAP GTS system. So previous slide, whatever the screening we talked about, that was a part of compliance management. Okay, all this screening, sanction party list screening, embargo screening, or the legal control screening. And whatever I told you about the declarations, duties, okay. So this will be part of the custom management. The electronic connections with the custom authority is coming under the custom management. Okay. Custom management do cover a lot of processes across the globe. Okay, because crossing the border it's a custom procedure. Every country do provide a kind of a custom procedure for import or the export. Okay, because for different kind of import export procedure we have the corresponding duties. It will impact the duty collection basically. Okay, so custom management module will help us for those automation of those transactions, right? Then we have one more module in the SAP GTS system, risk management. Okay, now earlier till 11.0, okay, we used to have like preference processing, letter of credit, and the restitution. Okay, from the GTS HANA edition, because we know that letter of credit, okay, in S4 HANA we have the different solution now. Okay, letter of credit has been completely moved out to I think it's moved out to some finance different area. I think I'm not sure if it's a FSCM. Okay, but how it was being handled earlier in finance and the SD integration, so that complete solution is changed. So that's why the letter of credit processing is not being handled in the GTS. Okay, how it was being handled in the GTS earlier, that integration is not there for letter of credit and the restitution also. Okay, restitution was specifically for the agricultural product and that too within the European Union. If your client is working for the agricultural product or the dairy product, okay, and that too within the European Union, so restitution was the module. Even from the beginning, restitution was the area where least implemented area. Okay, even I have never seen in any of my client they are using restitution. As I said, this restitution is only for the clients which is in European Union, and the product is agricultural product. Okay, agricultural product, and this restitution is also about a corresponding a duty refund basically based on the license to those product, because we know across the globe there are the product like the dairy product and all, they are the duty free product. Okay, so they have to submit the declaration with the duty, but then after they will claim for the refund or they will submit the restitution, so that duty will be completely exempted, right? So this restitution is also not there. As I said, we have the different mechanism to implement the restitution. Restitution is now we are just directly taking care in the custom management module only. Okay, custom management and the compliance. We are creating the separate license, and the corresponding duties procedure is being taken care in the custom management. Okay, so that's why restitution we have alternate available. And for the letter of credit processing, anyhow, the solution completely has been changed now in the feeder system. So that's why this integration is not there for the letter of credit processing in the GTS system. Okay. And for restitution, we have alternate solution. Coming to the preference processing, yeah, this area is still there in the risk management. Okay. Preference processing. Preference processing is the functionality which is specifically for the free trade agreement. Okay, so across the globe we have many countries involved in the multiple free trade agreement. Okay, for the European Union countries or the Northern American countries like US, Mexico, Canada. Okay, they were using the NAFTA agreement. Okay, but NAFTA agreement is a Northern American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. Okay, but now with this NAFTA agreement, anyhow, they have changed now. They have changed the name to USMCA, US is for USA, M for Mexico, and CA for Canada, USMCA. Okay. Now this USMCA, okay, agreement or NAFTA agreement, okay, it's a kind of a free trade agreement. Okay, it's a kind of a free trade agreement, which is giving the benefit of duty exemption, because we know free trade agreement is whatever the countries being involved in the free trade agreement. Okay, whatever the countries is being involved in those free trade agreement, okay, those countries will be having their import and export a duty-free transaction. Okay, a duty-free transaction. Give me just 1 minute. Huh? Yeah, sorry about that. So the preference processing is specifically for the free trade. Okay, how that particular free trade being implemented and what are those free trade agreement rules, and based on that rules only the preference will be given. Okay, preference means if there is a due, suppose the transaction is happening between US and Mexico, and any one transaction is happening between US and Canada. Okay, let's say import in US is happening from Mexico, and the same import is happening from China. So for China, if it is $100 duty, so for Mexico, although it is same $100 duty, but Mexico is a part of free trade agreement. So for the same import, that $100 duty for Mexico will be exempted. So while submitting the duty, our client in US will submit the duty calculated as $100. Then again, below that, it will also say as a duty exemption minus 100. So it's $100 duty and it's an exemption minus 100. Just like how we do in the pricing discount also, right? We calculate the price, then we give the discount. In case of free goods, okay, we give the same minus. If it's $100 minus $100, okay, free. So similar way, the preference will be also working. Okay, it's a duty will be calculated for the free trade agreement country also, but there is an exemption. There is exemption for the countries, only for the countries which is a part of this free trade agreement. Okay, so such kind of functionality and how it will work, proof of origin, etc. Okay, that particular transaction, whether it's really the falling or meeting the criteria. Okay, it's falling and meeting the criteria to to be called as a free trade transaction. Okay, so that one example is that, for example, if my client in US importing from Mexico, but Mexico and again indirectly has imported from China. Okay, then what will happen? Mexico is importing from China and my client is importing from Mexico. In that case, that particular goods, whether the free trade benefit can be given to this transaction or cannot be given to this transaction. For my client import, my client in US importing from Mexico product, but that product which we bought, which my client has imported from vendor in Mexico, and that particular vendor in Mexico has imported from China. Okay, in that case, the custom authority need that how much percentage in this particular product that we have imported in US from Mexico, how much percentage of China product has been used as a component. As a component, how much product, how much percentage, how much value share of the China product has been used. Okay, that percentage, that value share will be a determining factor whether this kind of a import will be treated as a preference. Okay, originating preference will be given to this particular import or cannot be given to import. Okay, so that's why we have a separate rule. It is not simple as the transaction is happening between US, Mexico, and Canada, and it will be duty free. Okay, before the custom allow this duty free, or before the custom will allow this preference exemption, Okay, certain rules are there. Okay, because the vendors or the business partner in these three countries, they can import from across the globe, from China, India, Vietnam, and then they can circulate those goods within the country. So not all the goods will be given this preference exemption. So not all the transaction happening between US, Mexico, Canada will be a duty exemption. There are some certain rules for that. So that's why this, again, the GTS system is intelligent enough to, based on those rules, predefined rules, the system will be calculating and determining whether this particular transaction, okay, the preference will be given, or whether for this particular product for the export transaction can be claimed or cannot be claimed. Okay, so that product functionality we have in the preference area, okay, in GTS, right? Okay. Then the fourth module is electronic compliance reporting. Now, electronic compliance reporting is the global trade service system support in the statistics declaration that you have to submit to the authorities for intra-European trade between two European Union member states. Okay, so this electronic compliance reporting, it is an intrastat reporting basically. Okay, so any transaction happening between, so when I say transaction, I'm talking about the sales order or the purchase order, inbound delivery or the outbound delivery. So any transaction happening between two countries within the European Union, okay, any transaction happening between two countries within the European Union, okay, will be, okay, any transaction happening between two countries within the European Union, okay, okay, will not be called as an import and export. For example, Germany and Belgium, okay, Germany and Belgium, both countries are in Europe, all right, both countries are in Europe, Germany and the Belgium, but let's say the customer is in Germany and vendor is in Belgium, okay, and my customer is importing from Belgium, all right, then in that case, this particular transaction will not be called as an import. This will be called as a receipt, okay. So completely jargon will be changed when we talk about the transaction happening between two countries within the European Union. These, instead of import and export, we have to use the words dispatches and the receipt. Dispatches and the receipt, okay. Why we are not using the import and export word here? Because import export means we are also talking about the duties, and that will be handled by the customs department. But for this particular transaction where two countries within the European Union are involved in the dispatches or the receipt, so these dispatches and the receipts, these all transactions are duty free, okay. So this entire European Union is a single market. So any transaction happening between two countries within the European Union, it's completely duty free. Okay, it's a completely duty free. I'm not talking about the free trade agreement. I'm talking about a single market concept. Okay, so European Union is just like a one country, and the corresponding country within the European Union is called as a member states. Okay, member states. When we talk about the trade, then this way it happens. Okay, similarly, when we go, just an analogy. If you have traveled to Europe, to any country, you will be given one Schengen visa, right? Based on a Schengen visa, we can travel across the country, right? So within the Europe, you can go and travel, use that visa. So just an analogy I'm giving you, okay? So similar way, this is just a single market. So you have a kind of a custom approval. Custom approval will be anyhow the custom department for each and every country, but there is an intrastate department also. There is an intrastate department for each and every country of European Union, will be taking care of that for their corresponding country, how much dispatches has been done to the member states of European Union, member country of the European Union, or how many receipts we received from the member country, okay, or corresponding country in the European Union. Okay, so these statistics, this report is a mandatory, it's a compliance that every client every month statistics they have to submit to the interstat department, and every country in the European Union have an interstat department to take care of this dispatches and the receipt. Now, idea is not to calculate the duty, because duty etc. is taken care by the custom authority. Okay, and custom will come when the import will happen in European Union or export will go out of the European Union. Okay, so just as a layman term, you can understand the European Union as a one country. Okay, European Union as one country. So the export will be called an export when the transaction will go out of European Union to some non-European Union country. Okay, or receipt import is when the transaction will be, or inbound transaction from non-European country to European Union country. That is called the import. All right. So, so those import-export transaction will be driving, and there is a corresponding duty. Okay, will be there. Okay, corresponding duties will be there. All right. Okay, the corresponding duties will be there when we talk about the custom department. But in case of interstat department, okay, there are no duty clause. The interstat department is to just take care of the statistics, that how much volume, how much quantity, how much value share of the transaction which has been moved from one European country to another European country. That is only just to track the statistics, not to estimate or calculate any kind of a duty thereof. All right. Okay. Let me know if any doubts are there. All right. So fine. Let me know if any doubts are there. Understanding this overview, any sort of discussion that you want to, any kind of a comment that you want to do. Otherwise, we'll proceed further. Okay. All right. Now there is again one more picture has been given here. Okay. Introduction to, it has to be introduction to GTS basically. Okay. The business benefit has been given. Okay. Just as a tool, you can see that any software will bring the saving of time by automated process. Okay. It will cut the cost too. Okay. And it will have the less manual efforts involved. Okay. Less human works involved. Okay. Human works involved. It's a completely machine based. So no monitoring is required here. Okay. Okay. So manual efforts being saved. Okay. So it's a saving, cutting the cost or saving the time. Right. Then we have the automatic check on the compliance violation, which is again the one of the practice for the foreign trade, international trade. Keep company brand name and the trust. Okay, because as we know, if our company is being put a lot of penalty by the custom department. Okay, because if we are not providing and not following the compliance, then what will happen? The corresponding penalty will be imposed, right? So that penalty will be imposed because of compliance not made. We are doing the transaction with some negative party customer, okay, or the blacklisted customer or the vendor. We are doing the transaction without even classifying the product, or we have wrongly classified the product. All right, and embargo checks. So if the screening, okay, the screening is not there in place, so that kind of we understand that it is the huge penalty from the custom authority. Also, other than the penalty, it is also impacting the brand value. Okay, for the brand value. Okay, all right. So the company do also calculate, every government do also calculate at how much amount of the penalty has been imposed. Okay, to that particular brand. Okay, so brand name also gets spoiled. Then fast trade processing and the customer satisfaction. As we know, the major benefit that we wanted to introduce in today's era is how much fast the goods will take to reach to the customer. Okay, how fast we can make the goods to reach out to the customer. Okay, so that efficiency of the supply chain has to be made. It is a goal of not only for the GTS module, but each and every module or each and every software or the third-party software, they are just targeting to have efficiency added more and more efficiency added in the supply chain process. Okay. All right. Now we'll come here and we'll talk on this technical points. Okay. All right. So we can see here SAP GTS is a NetWeaver based software add-on. Okay. Including function like compliance, custom risk, and the electronic compliance reporting. To exchange data with the SAP GTS system, the GTS plugin is there. Okay. With the name has been given SLLPL. Okay. SLLPI. Okay. It must be installed on the SAP ERP feeder system. All right. And then the plugin for the GTS 11.0 has been given as a with the corresponding, you can see here at 900. Okay, 900 underscore 600. So it is something 900 is generally used for 10.0 and 901 is for 10.1. Okay, so for the 11.0 actually it's a V11. Okay, I'll just correct this slide. Okay, I'll just correct this slide. This is not for 11.0. For 11.0 we have 1100. All right. So this is for the 10.0, 900. 10.1 we have 901. Right. Okay, I'll just show this in the system. So you can see here in the picture also SLLPI for the ERP system it will show. And if we have for S4HANA, then you will see SAP underscore core. Okay. All right. And for SAP GTS, we'll have SLL-lag, which is their corresponding plugin name. Okay. You can see here V1100. So this V1100 will represent the GTS 11.0 here. Okay. So I'll just make a correction here after the session. I'll correct it to the corresponding what has been showing in the picture here. It is V1100 for GTS 11.0. Okay. 900, 901 is for version 10.0 and 10.1. So that I will also list here in case you are working with 10.1 or 10.0. All right. Okay. Fine. So let's discuss this thing in the system, and I will also share you guys the corresponding system detail. Okay, I'll just connect with the Mike or Akash, and they will share with you guys all the system detail after the session. Okay.
Yes, one query here. You talked about like standalone GTS with non-SAP ERP as well. So like
Right.
what would be the like architecture out there?
Architecture will be in place of SAP ERP, you'll be having non-SAP ERP.
Yeah, but
Okay.
like here we have a SLL leg V1100. So
Right.
like what would be the
Same plugin. For GTS, we don't have the
plugin for
different plugin.
that?
Same plugin. SLL
Okay.
V1100. Okay.
And
Right.
like even if it is SAP GTS, it like standalone SAP GTS, would they like would it be through the like similar SAP GUI, or how does that work?
Yeah, even if we have similar GUI, it is not changed at all. Okay. System will be, because it's a system anyhow, is a SAP GTS system, right? So the lookout or the look and feel will not change. We'll have the same reports, same T code. Okay. Same system, even with the non-SAP ERP. Okay.
So even if it is non-SAP ERP, if they need to use SAP GTS, they have to have all the SAP licenses for using this.
Yes, yeah, right. Because that's the purpose of SAP also to sell this product as a standalone. So they have so whomsoever is a client which is using non-SAP ERP system, so they have to buy this license for the SAP GTS. So from this slide, let me go in the system too. Just 1 minute. Let me look at the password. Yeah. All right. So I just logged in the GTS system. Okay. And after login, you can go here in the system status. Okay. Product version. Okay. And you can find here SLL leg. Okay. You can see here V1100. Okay. So it's a 11 version, GTS 11.0. After this version, you have GTS HANA edition that works on Fiori apps. Okay. So this is the component that we should look into, SLL-LEG V1100. And if I go back, and I'll just make in the picture it is showing correct SLL V1100, but here in this it's showing PI. Okay, 900. This is for the feeder system that they have given. Okay, but just make the correction here. The plugin for the version SAP GTS is P1100. Okay, and for the feeder system it is correct. So basically just a typo error. At both the places the system has been given okay, same feeder system like feeder. Okay, same plugin for the feeder system like the feeder system. Okay, so GTS 11.0 is this is the one, SLL lag V1100. Okay, this I will change. All right, and we can have a look in the system also. In the product version SLL lag V1100 we have to look into. Okay, now after this we have this GTS area menu. Okay, if we do not have this, so we have to go to this transaction /n/SAP SLL /menu_legal. So this is the entire transaction, okay, which is saved in the favorites as a SAP GTS area menu. Okay, it has been saved in the favorites as a SAP GTS area menu. Okay, I just put this in the chat. Okay, this T code is for all right. So this T code is for GTS area menu. Okay, because in our training system it is saved in the favorites, so you do not have to come to this T code. Even if I come to this T code, you will come to this screen. Okay, you will come to this screen, right? Or if you just wanted to use these favorites, right? So you simply use these favorites, double click on the favorites. It has been saved. Right. Now, coming to this system, you can see here what we have discussed: the compliance management. We have sanction party list, legal control, import, export, and if you go on the right side, you have this embargo. Okay, these all are the embargo related screening. Okay, so they have not created another screen for the embargo rather than, but in the system, embargo is a different screening. Okay, embargo is a different screening, but their corresponding reports has been, or the kind of a T code which has been given. You can see here, it is being clubbed in the same screen. Okay, you can see here this embargo and rest. Whatever you see, these are all related to the legal control. Okay, legal control import, legal control export. Okay, and then classification of the master data, where we will be discussing on the product classification, uploading the data from the data provider, HS code, commodity code, etc. Right? All right. Now, similarly, you can see in the custom management, okay, different screen has been given for the export declarations. Okay, similarly, import declaration. Okay, and export declaration, import declaration, spatial custom process, inventory managed. Then the risk management, you can see the preference processing, first two button. And as I said, in the GTS HANA edition, this restitution and the letter of credit has been removed completely. Okay. So, okay, the GTS HANA edition, we have only the preference in the risk area. And you will not find this restitution and the letter of credit. Anyhow, one more thing, that in the GTS HANA edition, you will not find this T code working. Okay. So if you are working with this T code is valid only till version 11.0. So this is the top version that we are working in this training, 11.0, where this T code, SAP Menu Legal or this cockpit is working. After this edition, will have a GTS HANA edition, and there this T code will not work. Okay. Most of the things which you see in this screen, okay, most of the things like sanction party list screening. And if I go in the sanction party list screening, I will find all this audit trial, screening, or the master data, everything. This has been all moved to Fiori apps. Okay. That's the reason, because it hasn't moved to the Fiori apps. So that's the reason this entire screen that you see in this menu legal, okay, menu legal T code, or we call it as a GTS area menu. This GTS area menu, you will not find this T code working, and everything that you see here has been moved to Fiori apps, and some of the T codes, okay, some of the T codes like comparison term generation, okay, etc., or some of this like screening, business partner, and all. This has been moved to the area menu. So we are in the area menu. So as I said, this particular T code menu legal will not work. So in the area menu, you will find all those few things has been moved to Fiori, but which has not been moved to Fiori, you have to come here and under the GTS tab, like how I'm showing this, okay, different node, okay, for the T code. So similarly for that also you'll be having, so you have to navigate using this SAP menu, okay. Only for those transactions where the corresponding Fiori app is not available, okay. The corresponding Fiori app is not available. So for those transactions, we have to come here in the SAP menu, okay. So we may have to learn the path also, okay, in the GTS HANA edition. But till 11.0, you will find everything in one place, which is in this transaction menu legal transaction, which I'm showing you here. Okay, in this transaction, you will find everything. Okay, all the T codes in the different sections we'll have available. With the GTS HANA edition, it has been broken into two pieces. Few things moved to Fiori, few things came to the SAP menu. All right, SAP menu. All right. Now, what next? Let's go to the next slide. System architecture. Okay, SAP GTS system can be connected to CRM, SRM, third-party system via standard application programming interface using APIs. Okay, so the screening of the partner, as I said, the SAP GTS do provide the screening of the partners. Okay, or the screening of the transaction. Those transactions may come from the CRM system also. Okay, so CRM calls could also be one of the feeder system for GTS. Similarly, we have transaction data from EWM and the TM also. That is, so GTS can be integrated with the EWM and the TM system also. Okay, all right. So we can see here the GTS system is connected using the RFC connections here. Okay, and in the picture, if you see the feeder system, currently let's talk about the feeder system as an ECC. And SAP GTS system on the right side, it's connected using this. You can see this arrow, it's a bidirectional arrow. It means some of the information passed from feeder system to SAP GTS system, like master data, okay, and the transaction data. But some information do also pass from SAP GTS system to feeder system, like what? Like we have commodity code. After the material master is classified, that corresponding commodity code will retransfer, okay, to feeder system, or the preference flag. Okay, in the preference area, in the risk management area, we also do have a preference flag. If you guys have observed in VBAP table in your sales order or VBRP table in your billing, I'm talking about the sales order item table, VBAP, or your billing item table, VBRP. So VBAP and VBRP tables, you may see one flag, one field for the preference. Okay, one field is there for the preference, PREF. Even if you search with the PREF, you will find one field for the preference. That's just a flag. Okay, it is just a flag, blank or X. The value is just a blank or X. So that flag also will come from the GTS system. Okay, that flag value. So in the feeder system wanted to understand that corresponding export, okay, is we can claim the preference or we cannot claim the preference. So GTS system, what area? In the GTS system, we have the preference processing using the free trade agreement, as I was discussing. Preference flag, okay, the free trade agreement, okay, free trade agreement area. So this preference or the free trade agreement, this area, okay, a corresponding flag, preference flag will be transferred to the feeder system, okay, based on some calculation in the rule again, right? But we can see it is not only the transfer of the data from feeder system to the GTS system, but yes, from the master data that we are transferring, okay, from the feeder system to the SAP GTS system transaction data, the volume of the data is more when it's transferring from feeder to GTS system. But the volume of data or the flag that is transferring from the GTS to the feeder system is less as compared to the data flow other way. So that's why you can see one of the arrow is showing as a bold arrow, or you can see it's a wider, and this one is a thinner arrow. It's just a replicate. It's just depicting that the volume of data is more when it is coming from feeder to the SAP GTS system. Data is master data or the transactional data. But SAP GTS system will just transfer the classification or the flags, okay, the preference flag or the duty paid stock or the bonded warehouse in the special processes, okay, which is lesser as compared to the data transfer the other way. All right. Okay. Now integration. Second point is integration with SAP EWM is included in SAP GTS without custom programming. And SAP TM and SAP EM can be connected since SAP GTS 10.0 using service-oriented architecture services or the body implementation. So as it is telling you guys that EWM integration is available in the SAP GTS system, okay, without even custom process programming. It means we just have to configure, okay, in the SPRO configuration, we have to configure the corresponding data flow between the EWM and the TM and the GTS system without any body enhancement. Okay, whereas the TM and the SAP EM system can be connected to the GTS system with configuration, as well as we also have to do some body enhancement. Okay, based on that, the system can be integrated with the GTS system. Okay, all right. Now, detailed configuration instructions are available on the SAP support portal, and the master guide of SAP GTS contains system component requirement and the important SAP notes. Okay. So when you talk about the SAP master guide, you all of you guys know about the SAP help website. Okay. So SAP help website is a master guide for SAP GTS, and SAP support portal. Okay. If you guys have already have an access to SAP support portal, so based on that, we can search for the SAP notes, a kind of predefined errors or the corresponding solution notes has been given there. Okay. Or some specific updates. Like as I told you, there is the menu legal transaction will not be available in GTS HANA edition. Okay, so that is a kind of update. Okay, so these are the SAP notes which will be available in the SAP support portal. Okay, we need a credential, that is the client-based credential, to log in SAP support portal to read out those SAP notes. Right. Okay. All right. So this is what we cover in the overview today. All right. Okay.
Yes, can you go to the last slide?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you talked about like GTS can be integrated with EWM as well. So like what are the details that are pulled in and pushed to EWM, and like what are the deciding criteria? Should we connect to EWM system or should we operate with only connecting to ECC? So how do we decide on that?
So now again, it's a good question that how we decide. So it's a completely a business scenario. Okay. Whether my client is using the warehouse or not. So the first thing, okay, whether because EWM will be in the place, okay, whether the EWM is there in the place or not. Okay.
Yeah,
If
let's say I
EWM,
have ECC in place, I have EWM as well implemented. So I have both, and for uh, deliveries, I am shipments and all, I am using EWM. So what is the should I connect with GTS or not? How do I decide on that?
so basically the transaction, whether before my warehouse will start the transaction. Okay. What the warehouse operation will do, they will start doing all the picking, packing, put away, or the goods issue for the customer in the warehouse. Before they start the operation, I want my GTS system to screen that transaction, that deliveries. Okay. I want the GTS system to screen those deliveries. After GTS system say, okay, we can dispatch this material or we can receive the material from that particular vendor. Then after my warehouse operation should start in this delivery. This is the first point. Okay. Second point is in the custom area. So this point which I just spoke it was in the compliance area. Okay. Second touch point is in custom area. So in the custom area, when we have a transit process available. Okay. Transit is something like a duty unpaid stock. We are importing a stock in our country without paying duty to the customs. Okay. This is the transit area. So in such a scenario, if you want a safekeeping process, we do have a safekeeping presentation. That is again a particular custom procedure for the transit only. If you want the safekeeping operation to be happening in EWM, then after performing that safekeeping operation in EWM, we transfer a flag to GTS system. Okay, flag to the GTS system. So these things, okay, whether my client is using all this thing or not, whether they are using this transit duty unpaid scenario or not. So this is one of the standard process which is available in the can be implemented using EWM and the GTS integration. All right. Second thing is the screening. GTS is used for the screening the transaction. Without screening, my operation in the EWM should not start. Okay. So these are the integration points. Okay, that we can think and we can discuss with the client. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Yash.
Yeah. So the safekeeping or the presentation scenario, the duty unpaid stock, and the screening. These are the two things for the EWM and the GTS. Similarly, for the TM, if your client is using TM, then the freight orders. Okay. Again, before we arrange the dispatches, we again wanted to screen the deliveries first. Then the TM operation should start. The dispatches or the receipt should start. So in that case, the transportation, the corresponding freight order will be transferred to the GTS system again for the screening. Okay, freight order will be screened for the corresponding business partner, that which are the transporter, carrier. Okay, we wanted to screen the carrier also. We wanted to screen within the middle all the business partner involved in that particular transportation, because we are talking about the transportation via ocean. Okay, it will be going from US to India to US, let's say. So multiple parties will be involved there. So you wanted to screen all those parties. Then the freight order transfer to GTS. Screen all the partners. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Let me know if you have any further queries, or if you want me to repeat anything. Let me know. All right. So now we'll have a look at in the system. ECC and the GTS system. Okay. All right. So connection. We first of all need to understand the connection between two systems. From the functional point of view, why it is required? Because sometimes we also do involve in standalone testing. Okay, there is a system, we call it as a QA system. Okay, it is not exactly like your UAT system. It is a different standalone system. And for GTS, we also wanted to do our testing in the QA system. That is a standalone testing system. Okay, because there we also test our IT integration. Okay, right, so that we can understand whether it is impacting any kind of a connection or not. Okay, that time this connection knowledge will be required. All right. So what we have to do, we have to go to this transaction. Okay, menu legal. Okay, the same transaction, but since we are in the feeder system, so we have to append R3 here. R3. Okay, we have to append R3 here. Let's put that again. This is a transaction. This is for the feeder system. Okay. In our case, it is an ECC. ECC system. All right. Okay. ECC system. Now, so now how about the, as I said, menu legal will not be available in GTS HANA edition. But how about this transaction? Because this will be, when we move it to the S4 HANA, then only we'll be integrating with the GTS HANA edition. Although GTS HANA edition, we can connect with the ECC system also. Okay, that's not a problem. We can connect with that, the GTS system. But this R3 transaction will exist. Okay, in the feeder system. All right. So here we have a few information. Let's go to the basic setting. And these are the system connections that we have to discuss. Okay, system connections. So let's go and have a look at here. So system that you can see here is it's the client is 800. Okay, the client is 800. So before coming to the defined logical system, so let me go one by one. We have to define one logical system here. Okay, so you may find many system appearing. The one which is for this client used is, this is the system T90 CLNT 090. The nomenclature is whatever you can see here, EH8 800. Okay, in between you will put CLNT in the caps. So the nomenclature should become EH8 CLNT 800. What is the nomenclature? It is EH8 CLNT 800. This is the SAP provided nomenclature. We can have any nomenclature, okay, but most of the time you'll find this EH8 CLNT 800. It's a training system. We are using here TA90 CLNT 090. As I said, we can keep any name here. It's a training system, but same. Okay, but we have to understand the nomenclature. If for our client, they will be following the nomenclature system EH8 CLNT 800 here. Okay. All right. For our training system, we'll be using the logical system T90 CLNT 090. Okay. Defining the logical system, when we say the definition, it doesn't have any other further data. It's just an entry in the table. If I double click for the detail, there's no data. Okay, it's just a table entry. Then the next screen, we have to assign this logical system to the client. Our client is 800. So let's assign. You can see here a unique client has been present. Okay. our client is 800. So to the client 800, logical system assigned is T90 CLNT 090. Okay. All right. T90 CLNT 090 is the logical system assigned to client 800. So this is how the RC connection understand that these are the two different logical system or the system to integrate. All right. Rest, you can see here the client role. Okay, so we have to keep the role customizing here. As per the system, it based on this client role, the security team can use this for the access purpose to give the role access to a particular business users based on this particular rule, whether they can perform only testing, not the customizing or the demo or the training system or the production system. All right, it will remain customizing because we need a full access to do the customization too. Okay, now these two nodes, define logical system, assign logical system. These two nodes you will find in the GTS system also. If we come to the GTS system, and we will come to SPRO. I'm in GTS system SPRO. Okay. Coming to the global trade services, system communication, the first node. Open this. You can see here define logical system, assign logical system. Okay. Here also we will be defining one logical system. What was that? The logical system name is. So here it is. Naming convention as per the SAP suggestion. NSP is my system and 001 is a client. So the name will become NSP CLNT 001. So this is the one. NSP system 001 is a client and CLNT. Okay, this is the naming convention. All right, we create the logical system, and the same logical system you will find in the ECC also. In the ECC also, we have same logical system available, NSP. So it means in both the system, ECC and the GTS, we have to create and define the logical system. So our T90 system is available here also, you can see. Similarly, in my feeder system, here also I have defined the logical system. What was that? It is T90 and the NSP one. Okay, T90. You can see here T90 and the another one was NSP. NSP. So both the system, we have to define both the logical system. Okay, both the logical system we have to define in both the system. In the ECC also we can see NSP and the T90 is available. Okay. You can see here, I'm in ECC right now. In ECC, we have both the system, NSP and the T90. And in the feeder system also, sorry, in the GTS system also, I have both NSP and CLNT. And with the same naming convention, I have to keep. Okay. And the second node is also same for both the system. In the second node, we have to assign this logical system. In the second node, my ECC client is 800 and my GTS client is 001. Okay, in 800 I have assigned T90 and in 001 I can see NSP CLNT 001. Now similar thing, this is I'm in ECC. I'm in ECC right now. So the similar configuration I will be doing in the GTS system. So this is my GTS system. After defining assign logical system, same client I will use. One is 800, another is 001. So if we come to the 800, you can see T90 CLNT 090, which is for the feeder system. And for 001, it will be the GTS client, which is NSP CLNT 001. So the similar configuration we have to make in both the places. It is not only for ECC and the GTS connection only. So the similar node, we know this is the RFC connection, and the similar configuration we have to do whenever we are connecting any two logical system. It could be CRM GTS, it could be EWM GTS, okay, it could be TM GTS, okay, and it could be, let's say, even if you're not talking about the GTS module, we are talking about ECC and the EWM. Okay, even for the ECC and the EWM RFC connection, we have to set up this thing only. Okay, so in SAP, any two system which you wanted to connect via RFC, we have to define the logical system for both the system, and we have to assign the logical system for both the system in separate. In each system, we have to do this configuration, these two configurations. Okay. All right. Now, maintain RFC destination method call. Okay. So these two also. Okay. So these maintain RFC destination, RFC destination for method call. These two also we have to perform in both the system. My feeder system. So currently, I'm in the feeder system in ECC. Okay. And if I go to the GTS, first two configuration is available here, and other two is available in the same menu legal. In the menu legal, okay, we have to scroll down and come to the system communication button at the end, system communication button. Okay, we have to click here. Okay, system communication, and we will have here these two: target system for RFC call, RFC destination. Similarly, in ECC, we have it in a sequence: RFC destination, RFC call, and the method call. Okay, so here also we have to set up this system. We'll be doing it for the web connection 3, and both the system we have to assign here. Okay, let's search here. So one is for our T90, another is for NSP. Okay, you will find both the system tagged here. You can see here NSP CLNT 001, NSP CLNT 001. Okay, and another system is your T90. Where is the one? Here we have T90 CLNT 090. You can see here T90 CLNT 090. Both the system has been tagged here. Okay. And next is the method call. So if you click on the method call, here you will find that this particular system, feeder system, is the T90090. Okay, this is the sender system. Sender is the feeder system. It is a current system. My current system is ECC system. So that's why in this hierarchy, the top node that you can see is the logical system name of this particular ECC system. Okay, right? So here it is showing, this hierarchy is showing that this is the sender system, and which is my receiving system. Receiving is the NSP system. NSP my receiving system. NSP is for the logical system name for my GTS system. You can see here it has been mapped NSP CLNT 001. Okay. Okay. As a child node, it has been showing. Similarly, if we come to the GTS system, same configuration we have. We will come to the web connection number 3, type 3, a web connection, and we'll see both the system assigned here. One is T90 090, okay, T90 090, which is the feeder system, and another one is the NSP CLNT 090. So we can see here NSP one is not added here. So if we try to add, if I just click on this, okay, and if I try to add, then how to add? Let's add this NSP 090. So we click on this. So the RFC destination will be NSP, the one with NSP, right? It is not showing in the list currently. So I think I have to create that in the RFC destination, then it will appear. Okay, so I will add it, then I will show. Now, basically, in this configuration, in the RFC call, I'll just take it to the both the system in this RFC call. Okay, in the RFC call, this is very important. Okay, in this RFC call, where I told you we have to come to the ABAP connection type 3. ABAP connection type 3. When we open this, we should have both the system available here, T90 and NSP. T90 is my feeder system, NSP is my GTS system. Let's come and have a look at the NSP, go in a sequence. NSP CLNT001. Double click on this. So after coming to this screen, we have to click on this button. Okay, here it will show you the target host. Okay, IP address of the target host and the instance number. Okay, so all this system will be this target host and etc. This will be provided by the basis team, the instance number and all. Okay, after coming here, we have to click on this connection test. So when we click on this connection test, system will show us a log. So let's just test finish. So we can see here in this log, you don't see any red entries. Okay, you don't see any error. So this step is important, and this step has to be performed by the functional guys. Okay, so whenever you will be performing in the QA testing for your interface or anything, the standalone system, because every object will be moved to one standalone system, so that it will be tested for the integration. Okay, from the integration point of view, that will be tested, that whether those changes will be impacting anything on the integration or not. So at that time, and that those QA system is generally is not frequently used, like on a daily basis or the daily transactions. Okay, so sometimes we have to set up these connections there. Okay, all right, and before set up the connection, we have to test it. We have to test this connection if the connection have any kind of a problem. So like I am currently checking for the GTS. Okay, so I'm in the feeder system. So as I said, in the feeder system, we'll have both your feeder and the GTS. And same for the GTS system, you'll have both feeder and the GTS system. So both the system, we have to test the connection. And after testing the connection, you will get a log. In that log, if you get any red entry, any error, so we have to involve ABAP team there for checking and debugging what is causing problem in the connection. Okay. Then the corresponding debugging result, whether we have to talk to the basis, we have to involve the basis, or ABAP can figure it out there itself. Okay. So currently we can see in this training server, there is no red entry. So it means the connection for this NSP-CLNT is working fine in the feeder system. Same thing we have to do for the T90 client in the feeder system. So both system in EC, both the logical system in ECC, both the logical system in the GTS system, we have to perform the connection test. So total 4 connection tests we have to perform. Okay. One second. Yeah. So let's come to our T90 system, T90 CLNT 090. Double click on this, and then host name is unknown. Okay, so here it is causing some issue. Okay, here it is already told me the moment I came in this, it is telling me the host name is unknown. So okay, so if I click the connection test here, you can see here in this training system, you can see a lot of errors are coming. It means the connection is still not working fine. So what I have to do, I have to take this connection back to the server provider to fix this. Okay, and put a proper system here, or what they can also do, they can change this logical system for this system. Okay, rather than using T90, they may also use this another system, which is the one which one is that is the EH8. Okay, they may use this EH8 system here. Okay, 1 second. No problem. I can also figure it out. Okay, so what, because since it's a training system, so it's easy for me to drive the server name here. Okay, so what I can do, I can simply go here in the system and the status. Okay, so you can check for your client also that they have a corresponding host or the server name which has been given here. Okay, they have this host name here, SAP GTS, or the corresponding. Sometimes we do see some different host name here, but so here it is showing the external host name basically, not the internal one. Okay, and this is a corresponding server name associated. Okay, so we'll be utilizing this server name SAP GTS EH18. Okay, if we go and have a look at the NSP one, NSP CLNT 001, they have used this SAP GTS online.com. Okay, the same thing we'll be also using for our T90 system. Okay, our T90 system, let's go and try to fix it. So similar set of error you will get during the QA testing also. So we should be knowing at what we have to perform, what we have to, how to make the changes in the setting. Okay. Right. So here they have not given me the change access. I think host name. Okay, fine. I'll have it fixed by the server provider only. Okay. So basically, it's a real-time scenario. Anyhow, what I showed you, it's a real-time scenario. Similar thing, we also have to perform in the GTS system. There also we have to do it for both the feeder system and the logical system. We have to go to this TN90 CLNT. So here you can see, here it is fine, sapgtsonline.com for my T90 system. Okay, if we go and have a look at the connection test, connection is working fine. There is no red error for the T90 system here. Okay. All right. And we also have to add here the NSP CLNT 090. So if we go and have a look at the NSP, okay, we have to add here the corresponding ABAP connection for NSP CLNT 090. But that destination we have to create in the system. All right. So that I'll do, and I'll show that connection test tomorrow again. All the 4 connection tests working fine. Today, what is happening? T90 is working feeder system. T90 is working fine in the GTS, and NSP is working fine in the ECC. Okay, but all the 4 connections should be working. And if it is causing issue, then we have to involve the ABAP team in that. All right, fine. So we can see here on the connection front. Let me know if you have any doubt understanding this. If you want me to repeat anything, I'll do that. Let me know.
Hello, Yash.
Yeah.
So let's say right now one of the connections are missing in GTS system, correct?
Correct.
So how will it impact my current communication? I mean, where will I see the error? That something is not going to my feeder system because of this connection problem.
So right now, if you try to transfer the data, what will happen? It will show, okay, data has been transferred successfully. Okay, because it's showing the connection is working fine. So like when I checked in the feeder system for NSP, which is my GTS system, the connection is working fine. Okay, but so it means from my feeder system to the GTS system, the data will show, okay, transferred successfully. Okay, all right. But when we are talking about the inbound, okay, the inbound coming to from GTS to feeder system, so that will be impacted. that inbound flow will be impacted because the T90 we have seen that connection test is not working fine because of host name. It is showing some error there, right? Okay.
That is correct. But right now in GTS, there is no connection at all for one of the servers, right?
In GTS also, for the feeder system, we have the connection working fine. Okay, if this is the GTS system. Okay, and here if we go and have a look at this T90, which is for GTS to feeder. So this is the outbound for the GTS, outbound. But for the same outbound, there will be inbound for the ECC, right? But the same
Correct.
T90 working there. So for the GTS, the data will say, okay, transfer successful. But you will not receive in the ECC because the same T90 is a problem in the ECC. It's showing connection fail. All right. Okay, so it's a two-step process, right? One system will push the data, another system will receive the data. Correct? Two-step process. So the connection should work for the logical system in both the system. Right?
So right now, both the sides will not work. That is in ECC. Since my NSP is working, it will send the data, but GTS will not get anything.
Right.
And from GTS, if I send, it will send successfully, but ECC will not receive anything.
Exactly. It will show you the successful message, but the data will not. You won't see any data there. Okay. This is not the big issue. Okay. We just have to change the host there. Okay. So that will be done. So it's not a very big.
Just one more question: that is there a log or a T code where I can go and see where the documents are failing?
You can go to log SLG1. Okay. You can go in this SLG1 log. Okay. And check it out for the corresponding data. Okay. In external ID, we generally fill the object. Like if it's a purchase order or a sales order, you give is asterisk sales order and that asterisk again. Okay. So if you see, then yeah. So this is the one. This is the place. Okay, where you can see if it is something stuck, it will show in the red entry. Okay, this is the place. It will show the red entry. So I'll show if any red entries are there. Here it is. Okay, like sales order is stuck here. Okay, it is showing the location or what is the problem, why it is stuck. Material plant combination doesn't exist, like that. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and this SLG1 again, it is not the ECC and the GTS specific. As I said, this is the RFC connections, and any two system that is connected with the RFC will follow the same step: define logical system, assign logical system, ABAP connection, both the system, and then the RFC destination. Then, and this T code SLG1, okay, it is available for having the log where the RFC connection setup is there. So SLG1 is available for every place, even ECC EWM connections. There we also have the RFCs, and we use the same T code SLG1. So it's a general system integration we use to connect two systems. Okay, and same T code SLG1 we use to check it out the log if anything stuck. Okay. So SLG1 log, currently this T code I ran in feeder system. So it will show you the log for the feeder system. Same transaction you have to run in the GTS system too. In case if it is transferred successfully from the feeder system but not received in the GTS system, it is failing in the GTS system. Okay, if it is failing in the GTS system, so we have to check the corresponding GTS system SLG1 log at the receiving end. So we have to run all the SLG1 in both the places, because as I said, it's a two-step process. So if one system is showing green, another system is showing red, so there you will find, okay, there is the issue in this system, right? Like in this system, this business partner doesn't exist. Okay. Right. Okay.
Correct. So, but Yash, as we discussed, that ECC and GTS are right now not communicating. is this GTS system connected to some other server also, or how? Where is it communicating to with all these green entries?
Green entries.
Yeah, all these green entries, it must be communicating to some system, right?
Now this, whatever you see here, right? It is, you can see this is the basis driven run. Okay, housekeeping, and this is not the communication. Data is not getting transferred. This is their internal STMC. What they are running, status collector and all. This is the internal basis activity. If you see anything RFC user, then that is a data transfer. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So SLG1 is for the interlogs. So if you go to the SM58 for transaction RFC logs, we can find out in SM58 as well.
A lot of RFC,
Yeah.
Other than data transfer, RFC also do a lot of things in the system. So even if we go back to the feeder system and have a look at the maintain RFC destination. Okay. And the T90 system is, I don't have the change access. So T90, let me check. If I can fix the error there. T90 CLNT 090. Okay. So it's just giving the error of host name doesn't exist, but it is not even allowing me to change. Otherwise, we just have to change this host. Okay. That host, what we have here is we just have to change, because it's a training system. So in the training system, they generally use the same server, same host. So we just have to give this host here, server name. Okay, here in the target host, and that's it. The error would have fixed them. All right. So it's a PC3800. You can also have a look in the other system if we can assign, which is let's say 00800. Now they all are connected to the CEI3. And what else? If it is IT TCLNT 800, again same corp. GTS 800. This is again to the corp. Here it is allowing me to change. Let me check if I can use this connection, GTS 00800. Okay. My client is 800. Okay. And I just wanted to change. Let me change it as a description. I'm using this client as an ECC system. Okay. ECC system do not change. And what I'll do, I'll just remove this target host, right? Okay, I'll just remove this target host. And since it's my ECC connection now, okay, so what I have to do, training host, just copy this server name, cancel, keep it here as a target host. Okay, and what is the instance number? So instance number is what you see here given in the properties. Okay, I'm configuring for the ECC system, the RFC destination. So the instance number is 18. Okay, instance number is 18. Cancel this. Let's have an instance number 18. Okay. All right. So host and the IP address. Okay. After keeping this, let's try to save, do the connection test. No, it is still failing. Okay. Still failing. So SAP GTS online. Okay. The host I have to take the same what we have there for the one which is for the T90. Okay. Come to the basic setting, then come to this RFC destination. Okay, coming to this RFC destination, use it NSP, the one which is NSP. That is my GTS system. Okay, NSP 001. So you can see this is my GTS connection. I'm just using a target host same. Okay, I'm trying to use a target host same. Okay, enter, perform. Okay, and let's see if it works. Otherwise, I have to show to the this is working for the SAP GTS. And let me do one thing. Let me change the connection. Okay, this is this logical system I have configured for my ECC. And what I'll do for my 800 instead of T90, I'll assign this logical system. Okay, in 800, I'll remove T90 here and I'll assign this GTS 00800. Okay, and save this. Now, if you come here in the next configuration, this for the RFC destination. Let's come to this RFC destination again. And if you open the web connection, here we have both system assigned, NSP, and tested also, connection test. Come to the method call. Now you can see here, earlier it was T90. Now it is changed to GTS 00800. Why? Because this is the supplying system. What is supplying system? This is the current system basically. Okay, this ECC current system, earlier it was T90 assigned to the client 800, but now I have changed this to GTS 00800. Okay, and tested the connection also. So my both the connection in this feeder system is working fine. Okay. Okay. Now same thing we have to do in the GTS system also. Okay. Same thing we have to do in the GTS system too. So GTS system again we have to go to area menu legal transaction. For GTS, one of the system was working fine. That is for the T90, but now I have changed the T90 to GTS 0020. Okay, I've changed it to GTS 0020. This is my new system, GTS 00800. Okay, this is my new ECC system now. ECC system do not change. Okay, so if I go and have a look in the GTS system, scroll down, at the end you will have system connection, this button. When we come to the system connection, now you can see, if you have a look in the feeder system, this is the feeder system menu legal R3. Here you have define logical system, assign logical system, RFC destination. Here we do this connection test. Connection is successful or not successful. And here we tied up the supply, which will be my center system, which will be my receiving system. But the same configuration which is available in the system, these first two will be available in the GTS SPRO, and other two is available in the GTS area menu. So let's go to the GTS system. So you can see these two, the last two, configuration number 3rd and 4th is available here in the area menu. Okay, in the area menu, and first two transaction I showed you in the SPRO configuration, define logical system, assign logical system. All right. Okay. All right. So let's go back. Let's go to the SPRO and start from the beginning in the GTS system also. Global Trade Services, system communication, the first two, define logical system, assign logical system. So these two, and the configuration 3rd and 4th is available in system communication button in area menu. Okay, in the assign logical system, I have to change for the 800. Okay, instead of T90, I have to use the one which is there, GTS Okay, that logical system doesn't exist here. So it means I have to go one by one and define the logical system also. Okay, so with the same name, how I have done for the ECC. In the ECC, I have assigned the client 800. Let's go to the client 800, which is for my feeder system. I use this GTS 00800. Okay, same thing. 800 GTS 00800 I have to do in the GTS system also. But before assigning, I have to define this. Okay. GTS master DML 800. Okay, but I'll keep it as this is the ECC system. Okay, ECC system. So do not change. All right. Is D and C. Do not change. Okay. All right. I did that. Assign logical system 800. Now I can change to the one which I have just defined. This is the one. DNC, EC system DNC. Okay, GTS 00800. Currency, Euro, and role customizing. All right. All right. And what was the other one? For the GTS client, which is a client 001, which is already assigned the NSP CLNT 001. Okay. Now, the other two configuration, I have to go to the area menu. Come to the area menu. The last button, system communication. Okay, system communication. And these are the two configuration. RST destination and maintain RST destination for method call. Okay. Click on the first one, a web connection. Okay. I have to add one by one. So I have to click here and the create. After creating, my RST destination is, I can have a look what all RST destination is available. Let's add one by one. Three. Okay. One was a T90 CLNT 090. 1 second. For both the feeder system, I have to do one by one. First system is you can refer the feeder system setting also. So because both the settings in both the system has to be in sync. Okay. GTS CLNT 0080. So we can keep it here. I'm not sure it is going to take it. Let me check. Okay, if I just save this, it is accepting. Yeah, okay. Fine. So guys, this I will do after the session also. Okay, so anyhow, I showed you guys how this is entire setup is working. Okay, this is my ECC system. I'll just finish this one so you'll understand ECC system. I'm configuring here. The same way, I'll just put the host here. The same host, you can just copy the target host is for the feeder system. You can copy and create. And this for my feeder system, the instance number was 18. Okay. And same you can do here, no, and IP address and all. Okay. Enter. After entering, you'll have this IP address. Save this entry and do the connection test. Okay, connection is passed. So this is how I am creating for the GTS. Now let me also do the same for my GTS system 2, which is NSP1. So which is already working fine in the feeder system. So let me just have a look at the NSP connection and just copy paste from there. This is the one, NSP CLNT 001. Just double click, copy everything. Okay, 001. This is the GTS system. And same way, just keep the same target host. Okay. And the instance number for the GTS client, which is, okay, the client has not been given here. So we have to go to the GUI, go to the properties, and you can check it out. The client is 11. Okay, client is 11. So you can click here, 11. Save for both the system. Okay, 11. Same thing here also. Okay, it is already there. Okay, 11. Okay, now do the connection test in the GTS system too. So you can see now all the 4 connection is working fine. Okay, we have set up 2 logical system. I showed you one by one, and just to verify in the next configuration in the GTS. Okay, if you go back in the GTS system, sorry, in the GTS system, if you go back and if you have a look, maintain RSA destination, here you will find on the top, it is a GTS logical system name. Okay, and here you have the one which is for the feeder system. Okay, whereas in the ECC you have opposite, right? In the ECC you have opposite. In the ECC you have GTS on the top and NSP down below here. Okay, okay, because it show which is the feeder system, which is the sender system. So this is GTS 00100 is my sender system. The name showing GTS, but this is the ECC system which I have assigned for the client 800. Okay, so don't get confused with the name. Okay, this will show you that this is the logical system which is assigned to my current client 800. Okay, and on opposite in the GTS system, the client 001 has been assigned to this NSP client 001 system. Okay, sender, and these all are the receiver system. So this setup we have to create for the RFC. Okay, this setup we have to create for the RFC. So what you guys can do, and yeah, please do not change any settings. You can click on the connection test just to have a look at how the connection is successfully showing the log. Okay, but do not change any instance number or the host name. Okay, and do not delete any logical system connection here. Okay, if you wanted to create your own logical system assigning this client, then what will happen? This standard configuration will be then shaken. Then again, I have to do all the configuration. Okay, so you can just navigate what I showed and just click on the connection test. You can click on the connection test because even in the QA testing, we have to perform that integration is working fine or not. Like how I showed you, the connection test was showing some error because that was having some kind of a host was inappropriate. Okay, and I just created the another logical system. I given the proper host name and system accepted that host name and the connection was established without any error. Okay, so this is the real-time scenario that we have looked into in the system. Okay, let me know if any doubts are there, anything you want me to repeat.
Yes, I have one question. This is Suchit here. Like now when we configured for configuration of the feeder as well as the GTS system, we use the same host name. So is normally it will be different, right? Or
yeah,
can it be same?
No, it's a different because generally we have the 2 separate instance. Okay, we keep the 2 separate boxes, but it's a training system. Okay, it's a training system.
Okay.
So we do not have much volume. Why we keep the GTS and the ECC separate? Because of volume of data.
Right.
Okay. So, but in the training system, it's fine. even in the standalone system or in your company, you have some training system, right? Some kind of a internal system where we do all the practice. So they also have similar setup. Okay, because of volume, we may not have that much.
And it is differentiating from the host name, right? Right now, the systems. I mean, the host name is
host name is same, but the instance ID is different.
okay. Thank you.
Same instance ID, you can simply go in GUI, and same instance ID we will see in the properties also. Same instance number we are using there. Okay, but this application server is different. Okay, this application server is different. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know, guys, if you have any further doubts understanding this. I'll be sharing this server details. Okay, with the coordinator from the ZaranTech, and he'll be circulating all these details, because I think each and every person has to be given some dedicated credential. Okay, so you will receive all these details, the server details, shortly after this call. Okay, all right. So now, once we have this connection set up, okay, and we have gone through today's overview at how the system architecture is working. Okay, and like some of the system, it mentioned the TM and the EM, the body implementation. Okay, what does that mean? This statement is not for this RFC connection that we have discussed. Okay, this body implementation, etc., is when we are targeting to transfer the data. Okay, but before the body implementation, etc., we should have that RFC connection in place. Once we have the RFC connection testing done, and it is showing no red message, no error message, after that, this body implementation or body enhancement will come. Okay, okay. So in your projects, as a functional, we should have this connection knowledge just to perform the QA testing. All right. Okay, fine. So for today's anyhow, the agenda, we have come to the end of the session. Okay, we have seen the four configuration of each system: define logical system, assign logical system. Okay, and then a method, the RFC destination for the RFC calls, and also for the method calls. And if you go back and have a look at the agenda once again for the day, then we talked about the compliance management overview. What is GTS? Okay, as a product, what is this GTS, and what is the benefit, and how it is being used for compliance management, custom management, risk management overview, ECR, interest-rate reporting, business benefits, and the system architecture. Okay, system architecture do involve the RFC connections, and we also have a look at the error scenario while testing the connection test. We have seen the issue in that, and we fixed it. Now, if we just simply come and have a look at the GTS system, we just have to come to the target system and ABAP connection type 3. ABAP connection type 3. In both the system, you just have to come to this GTS 00800. This is your ECC system. Double click, connection test. Okay, this is done. Similarly, NSP system, CLNT 001, which is your GTS system. Double click, connection test. This testing is done for the GTS system. Same step we have to do in the feeder system also. In the feeder system also, we have to come to this RFC destination or the target system. Come to this ABAP connection type 3. Okay. Come to GTS 002, GTS 00800 first of all, which is my ECC system. I have configured. Where is that? GTS 00800, double click. Same step what I did in the feeder system. Okay, this is ECC system, do not change. Okay, connection test is fine. And the last one is the GTS system, which is my NSP system. So for NSP also, 001. This is my GTS system. Same step we have to do and perform the connection test. So just now I tested all the 4 setting for both the logical system, in both the system. Okay, in the GTS system and the EC system also, right? Okay. Okay, fine. Now, and the T code I've already shared. The SLG1 is a T code. If in case of any error, okay, the integration log, okay, integration log, you can refer the T code SLG1, okay, and this T code you have to use in both the system, okay, in sender and receiving system. In both the system, we have to use this T code, okay, in sender and the receiving system, right? Sender and the receiving system, we have to do this. All right. Fine. Now let me come to the feeder system again. So in the feeder system, this GTS area menu, this is the GTS area menu for the feeder system, legal R3. If you come to this transaction, so here you will have a lot of information like initial transfer of the document. You wanted to push the sales order to the GTS system or the outbound delivery. Okay. The moment you will create, it should automatically copy in the GTS system. But if it is not happening, then we have to come to this area menu and we have to push this data, transferring the sales document, transferring the outbound delivery or purchase order or the inbound delivery. Okay. Similarly, for your master data. So these two are the initial transfer of the document, initial transfer of the master data. Okay. This is for pushing the master data or the transactional data to GTS system. Transfer vendor, transfer customer, transfer applicant, material master, transfer bill of material. Okay, these all data we have to transfer to the GTS system. Although because of RFC connection, it has to trigger automatically. Automatically it should, the moment you press the save button, automatically it should transfer. But because of some issue, if it is not transferring, then okay, while creating the document or the master data, then we have this area menu, GTS area menu in the feeder system. This is your R3 basically. Okay. Area menu in the GTS system, legal R3. The T code I already shared. Okay. So these will be utilizing, we will be having look at this in case if our data is not been transferred, then we will be pushing the data again. Okay. Sometimes we have the missing configuration in the GTS system because of what? Our data come as in the GTS as an incomplete document. So we again have to repush the data, okay, from the initial transfer of the document. Okay. So this everything is related to your connections basically. Okay. This everything will not work until unless you have the connection set up in the system. Okay. Once you have the connection set up, then only we can transfer the document or the initial transfer of the master data. All right. Okay. Fine. All right. Let me know if you guys have any doubts. Okay. We are done with the today's agenda. Okay. I've covered the topic in the system. If you have any doubts in anything you wanted to discuss, then let me know. We can use this time. Or if anything you want me to repeat, I can. All right. Now,
Yes, when you maintain the in maintain logical this thing like you had put in the currency. So what is that importance of that?
the assign logical system, this one.
Yeah, assign logical system. Yeah.
This currency.
Yeah.
Although the system will work even if you don't assign this, system will not create any problem. Okay. All right. System will not create any problem, and it is not something which is it is not a filtering criteria also. Okay, it is just showing that this particular system, the client that we are utilizing here, okay, it is also present one of the system which is for my, let's say, the country Germany. Okay, Waldorf is city in Germany. Okay, where the corresponding currency will be used as a euro. Okay, so it means the transaction which will be coming and capturing this logical system here, if any of the transaction, let's say for company code US dollar, for US plant, some dispatch transaction or having some USD, okay, then what kind of exchange rate will be applied? Okay, the translation converts currency basically. Okay, for that purpose, this currency will be used. Okay, but even if you don't maintain here, we already have one SPRO configuration in the GTS system to implement this exchange rate. Okay, so as I said, if you're giving here, then that is fine. This is a default currency basically for exchanging. If we don't maintain, then that is also fine. In the GTS SPRO, we have the place for maintaining the exchange rates. Okay, so it's a default basically.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. All right. So client role I have discussed already, and the further that you can see here, automatic recording of changes. So these things will be as is, okay, like ECAT and the CAT not allowed, or protection level 0, or change to repository or cross client customizing allowed. So these drop down we have to maintain same without anything changes. Automatic recording of changes, this is for the log. If you keep it as a no changes allowed, then the entry will not appear in the log. Okay, so recording of changes is for your SLG1T code log. And change to repository and the cross client. So we know the customizing we have for the cross client object too. So if you wanted to capture and transfer the cross client objects also, so that is allowed or not allowed. So as I said, we just keep it as it is, because unless there's a particular business specification which I have never experienced in any of the client, for that purpose it has been given. Okay, because business may not want to keep it separate for separate logical system, cross client in one system, logical system, and without cross client in another system. Okay, that because of inconsistency basically will cause. So that's why we are just capturing here changes to repository or the cross client system, customizing allowed here to transfer. All right. Okay, so these settings has to be same. We do not have to change any setting here. Okay, so define logical system, assign logical system to that particular client of ECC and the GTS both. Then maintain the RFA destination and provide the server host and the instance ID and do the connection testing in this third configuration. And the fourth one will just show you the sender. This is the sender of the system, and the receiver, a lot of receiver we can connect. Okay, so this is a sender. This is the current system. The current system which is assigned to the client 800 in this system is this the one, GTS 0080. So this is my feeder system. Okay, all right. Okay, similar settings for your GTS system too. Okay, two-step process. One is sending, another party is receiving. All right. Okay. So yeah, we are done for the day. So okay, guys, if you don't have any further things to discuss or any further question, let me know if we can close the session for the day, and we'll connect back tomorrow 5 p.m. India time.
Thanks, Yash. Yeah, please take some time to fill in the feedback, and if you've completed, please feel free to drop off, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.